So, going live. Yep. Let's see how. Oops. See what's going on here. I have so much work to do. So much work to do. Let me see. Just actually trying to just see how this goes. Oops, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to turn it around. We don't want to turn it around. We want to, okay. All right, just checking things out. Ooh, a little foggy. I don't know why that is. I think I did something to it. Chat filter, community moderations. Boy, I tell you, the internet is something. Who do I have with me? 305 Capricorn. Hi. I wish I could see you. I cannot see you. Hi, 305 Capricorn. Are you a locked person? I can't see your hair. And I'm trying to figure out why my screen is so foggy. Don't know why that is. Let's see, let me turn it up a little bit. That's a little bit better. But looks like I got some kind of filter on here. So what's up today, 305 Capricorn? How's it going? Talk to me. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Do you like fufu? Yes, I do like fufu. I haven't had it for a long time. I had a good friend from Nigeria. His name was Okeke Okuchukwu, and he used to make fufu, and he did an excellent job. Baby, amazing lips. Okay, so we don't want to go too far into something that we're not interested in talking about. But for those of you who are here to talk about Sisterlocks, I found this product, right, that helps me, I've already made a video about it. But are you from Lagos or Abuja? No, I'm from the United States. So I found this video that really I found something that moisturized your sister locks. So I don't know what the rest of you guys are interested in talking about, but for those of you who are on here who have sister locks, which is this hairstyle, and you want soft, manageable sister locks, there is a wonderful program out there. And program. There's a wonderful product out there. I also have a channel where I talk about relationships. I could always segue into relationships if that's something you guys want to talk about. But I originally got on say something in Russian. Spasiba. How about that? Now, spasiba. Are you from the zoo? Okay, so that's probably not a very nice person, and probably not a very happy person. Only somebody very unhappy and sick in their mind would ask about the zoo. And how about this for the person who wants me to say something from Russia? Niet. And how about the fact that I was in Russia in 1985 for the 12th World Festival of Youth and Students? I stayed at the, what was the name of that hotel in Moscow? That's shaped after the Horseshoe Hotel in Hawaii. It was called... I think it began with a U, but anyway. Oh, somebody says we have trolls here. So how do you get rid of trolls? Okay. Is there a way to get rid of trolls? And then Maria Francisca has put something on here in Spanish, which I don't speak any Spanish. And then you got people being foul. Boy, this is interesting. I had no idea that, people don't have anything to do with themselves than to be disgusting. But anyway, so I'm using Camille Rose's Grow Grease. It's called the Grow Grease, the old-fashioned formula. And I'm going to tell you something. I can't speak for anybody else, but I don't use anything else. I don't need anything else. I don't spray my locks. I don't dampen my locks. I don't get up in the morning and I don't have this lock spray routine because my hair, I don't know about you guys. Okay, I ain't gonna worry about the trolls. 305 Capricorn. I believe when you click their name, it gives you options to block or hide. Okay, cool. That's good. Thank you. Thank you so much. So here's the thing. Yeah. Boom. Thank you. Thank you, 305. There it is. There it is. So there's a bunch of people here, but I can't go back and as they come in from now on. But anyway, I don't know if anybody has had the experiences that I've had with hard hair. I mean, like hair that feels like a broomstick. Well, that's what I had. And I use water, I use oil, I use all kinds of stuff. And guess what? Nothing worked. Everything was just terrible. Until I found, hi Lala, until I found Camille Rose's The Grow Grease, old-fashioned formula. And I only use it on my scalp. I don't even use it on my hair. So no matter, no matter how my hair feels, right? Once I use that Camille Rose Grow Grease, it changes the whole texture of my hair. I guess it travels down the lock. I don't know all the science behind it, but I'm telling you, if you're having trouble with hard hair, you want to definitely try Camille Rose's hair grease, old-fashioned hair grease. This message is held for review. Thank you so much. Let me tell you something. Sun-Kissed Locks, let me tell you something. I have dry scalp, and my scalp, when it starts to itch, it is crazy. And what I do is I put that Camille Rose hair grease on my scalp. And okay, Maria, how you get back here? Let me get rid of you, girl. You better stop playing. I put that Camille Rose hair grease on my scalp, old-fashioned hair grease. It's in a tin can. I don't have any down here, but I keep it in my purse. It's like in a little round tin can. I keep it in my purse. I put it on my fingers like this, and I just massage it into the various areas only into the scalp. And let me tell you something. My hair feels great. It's just soft, and everybody who touches it says, "Oh, your hair is so soft. Your hair is so soft." And I couldn't figure out why I had, how I started having soft hair. I couldn't figure it out because I was trying so many things. I tried so many oils and nothing was working. Okay. And so then I said, okay, let me just go with my simple routine, right? So my simple routine was to wash my hair or either to get it done. It's so random, but I cut my locks. Oh my God, where'd you cut your locks? But you must have had a reason. So I support you, do you, girl. But so all I do when my scalp starts to itch, this is how I know when I need to put some more oil in. When the scalp starts to itch, that could be 2 times a week. It could be once a week. It could be once, whatever. My thing is when the scalp starts to itch, that is what, are you still not? Oh, I got to tell you about that. Wait a minute. Let me get comfortable. Hold on for a second, y'all. Hold on. I got to tell you about my knotting experience. Hold on. Let me, because I'm on like randomly, right? Excuse me, everybody. I'm on randomly. But let me just answer your question and then I'll tell you about it. No, I'm not still not. Hold on. See if I can get some more light. Put a little bit more light on the subject. And I don't know why my thing is so foggy, but no, I'm not still nodding. And I was going to make a video about it. But since we're all here together, I might as well tell you about it. The last time I got knots was September the 11th, right? That would have been my fourth experience with knotting. Okay, all right, Amari. Hey, thank you so much. And listen, like I said, I respect your journey. If you decided you wanted to cut yours off, boom, I understand. Okay, let me tell you about the knots. Let me tell you something, Kiss Locks. So 4 months, I did it for 4 months. I had the experience, I had the locks. It was done. I did it. First time, I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Second time, I was still like really into it. Third time, not so much. Because what I started experiencing was, because there's no you're not concerned about you're not concerned about your parting, right? Which is crucial to Sister Locks. Some of my roots were very, very thin, and I just didn't feel like they were very secure. Now, here's another thing I learned about knotted locks. Unless you have the kind of hair that can withstand not having a retie for, I'm going to say, about 8 weeks or long enough for the loctician to tie a knot in the lock without tying a double knot. If you don't have that kind of hair, knotting is not for you. I don't care what Melissa Blake says. I don't care what Tanisha Ali says. I don't care what anybody says. In order to have knots in your locks, you have to successfully be able to let your hair grow long enough between reties to tie a knot in them. Because if you don't, you're going to have a double knot, which is what I had. Because I was going every 6 weeks, not even thinking about the fact that I needed, and my hair was, maybe I had an inch of hair between each retie. But guess what? An inch is not enough to tie a knot. And what was happening was I was getting double knots. Now, listen, I don't take nothing away from G, because G is great. She's a wonderful loctician. She's fantastic. I love her, but for somebody with migrated hair, this is why you got to be on your hair yourself. You can't let your locticians tell you about your hair. You got to be on your hair. And for somebody with migrated hair, which is like soft and cottony, right? I have a soft and cottony type hair. It doesn't look like it, but I do. And my hair is the kind of hair that puffs up. So I even when it was natural, it would just poof like a cotton ball. You poured the water on it and it would go poof, right? But with somebody with my type of hair who cannot withstand that, absolutely, Capricorn. I'm just telling you like it is. For somebody with migrated hair who cannot withstand a retie, an extended period between reties, I can't get locks. I can't get knots. I just can't get knots. It took me 4 months to figure this out. It took me 4 months to have this experience. And when I say 4 months, it took me 4 reties to have this experience, to gain this understanding that knots are not ever going to be for me, because I cannot wait 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks without Sisterlocks. I got so much more to tell you about this thing. I'm sorry, not without Sisterlocks, without reties. I got so much more to tell you about this thing. This thing is deep. Look, for a year, I looked at the videos, right? I wanted to get knots so bad. Knots seemed like the answer to a prayer. It seemed like a dream come true. It was a miracle. It was going to stop me from balding up at the top, the whole 9 yards. Well, here's the thing. It's just not for me. It's not for my greater hair. Because what was happening was the hair started growing around the lock. And the knot does not pull that hair in like the interlocking does. The interlocking pulls the hair in from around the knot. But unless you have enough hair, unless you had enough length of time between your reties, you can't grab that hair around the lock. Now, I'll tell you what happened. Once I realized I was having a problem, I said, I got to find me a loctician. A sister loctician, because I got sister locks, okay? And I'm going to tell you something else. That crocheting needle, for the people who are doing interlocking, who are not sister lock technicians, they're using that crocheting needle. That thing, the whole process of using that thing is not good for your scalp, because that thing rakes along the base of your scalp. It goes in and it comes out. Not like the SisterLock tool, which has that little point on it, and it goes in and it grabs the hair and it pulls the hair out. It's a different process. So for my hair, now if you got a thicker lock, if you have a thicker lock, if you have a coarser grade of hair, then you can almost do anything to it. Like the sister who glues it. I ain't got no problem with that, but you can see that girl has a thick grade of hair, a coarser grade of hair. So you can do almost anything to it. You can super glue it, you can iron it, you can whatever, and it's gonna be fine. But I ain't got that kind of hair. Never have. And me recognizing that, had my hair done with the crochet needle before, I'm telling you, let me tell you something. For little locks, I think a crocheting needle is out for little locks. If you got big locks, fine, and if you got the kind of hair that can sustain all that tension, fine. But I ain't got that kind of hair. I'm gonna be honest with you. And this has been a 3-year journey, and I ain't willing to sacrifice my hair trying to, explore this anymore. Okay? I'm not trying I don't want to lose my locks. Now I'm gonna tell you what happened. So I said, okay, I gotta find me a loctician, right? So I found me a loctician. She looked at my locks. She said, you got all these knots in here. And the whole head isn't knotted, but excuse me, a large portion of it, at least 50%. So she said, okay. So she did pick out one of the knots. She said, oh man, I'm gonna have to pick out these knots. I said, why can't you just do interlock and forget the knots? She said, no, you gotta take the knot, you gotta take the knots out. So I scheduled her for 4 weeks. I had that much new growth for 4 weeks. Now that was for a couple of reasons. One, because I stopped taking my asthma medicine. My asthma medicine was stunting my hair growth. Now it didn't stop it, but it stunted it. And as soon as I stopped taking that asthma medicine, my hair started really growing. Now what am I doing about having asthma? I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm trying to find something natural, but I can't keep taking medicine, number one, that I can't afford, and number two, that's causing me to be sad and like I want to kill myself. So I know God don't want me to do that. So I'm right now, God is holding me up with the asthma. I never had an asthma attack. I did have some problems with respiratory breathing and stuff like that, especially when I get a cold. But right now, for the last month, I haven't done anything, and my hair has grown like a weed. So yes, medicine does affect the way your hair performs. And, some of us don't have a choice. We got to be on it, do it, and take care of your hair. And then I'm using Camille's hair growth grease, which again is phenomenal. Okay? Don't take my word for it. Try it. And it might not work for your hair. I don't know. I don't put it on I don't rub it. I don't do like this. I don't do none of that. I just put it on my scalp. Boom. I part it and put it on there and rub it on my fingertips. I do it on the pads of my fingers. And I just, and then after I parted it and everything, then I go back and massage it. This is what I love. So back to this loctician. I had made an appointment for October 12th was Saturday, 11th, Friday, Thursday, October 9th, right? Surprise birthday party for my husband. I was planning for October 12th. I said, oh, my hair was looking raggedy. So I said, I'm going to go get my hair done. I said, I'm going to schedule it for 4 weeks just in case I run into a problem. I don't want to schedule it at 6 weeks. And she says she can't do it. And then I got to go to 7 weeks. I'm just going to have a mess. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So I scheduled it for 4 weeks. The night before, on October 8th, this loctician called me and said, you know what, Charmaine, I can't do your hair. I said, so I'm thinking she's saying I can't do it tomorrow, meaning Wednesday. I thought she was saying I'll do it another day. She said, oh, no, I can't do your hair. I said, why? She said, because you've had too many people in your hair. So I'm thinking, well, it's my hair. That's okay, ain't it? But no, apparently not. So she said a few other things, and I'm just listening. And then she said to let me know the conversation was over, and that's that. So I said, ooh, wow, okay, fine. Okay. I said, listen, don't worry, it'll be okay. I didn't want her to feel no kind of way about it. I felt in my spirit that somehow or another this is going to work out. don't stress. This is going to work out. Even though I got this party on Saturday, even though my hair, is really not in good shape right now, something is going to work out for me. And I didn't want to lay that trip on her. Should she have given me a little bit more notice? Because I did go to a consultation, right, 2 weeks prior to us setting this date. So I had gone to a consultation with this lady. So should she have let me know like prior to the night before that she couldn't do my hair? Of course she should let me know. But the fact of the matter is she didn't. What am I going to do about it, right? I got to roll with it. So I told her, I said, don't worry about it. It's going to work out. And I remember when I finally realized what she was saying, that she couldn't do my hair, tears rolled up into the back of my eyes. I'm like, oh God, what am I going to do? I got this party on Saturday. My hair's a wreck. Blah, 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 blah. So I said, something's going to work out. So it was same day, same night, Wednesday. And listen, ladies, if you don't have a backup, gentlemen, if you don't have a backup loctician, get one. Let that be your priority. Get a backup loctician, not one, two if you can get it. But anyway, I'm scrolling and I'm always looking. So if I see a sister with locks, I'm like, okay, who did your hair? Let me have that number. I'll get that number. So I just happened to be scrolling through my phone. And lo and behold, I remember that this last affair I was at, these two sisters had the most beautiful hair you ever want to see. And I said, well, you know what? I don't need her now, but I'd like to have that loctician as a backup. And she gave me the information. I put it in my phone, and and guess what? I had it there. So when I'm scrolling through my phone, I see it. I'm like, oh my God, here's a loctician. I call her up. I said, I need a retire, and when can I come in? She said, that was Wednesday. She said, why don't you come in Friday? I said, Friday? I said, I'll be there. Now, don't forget, y'all, I got this party on Saturday, right? I said, I'll be there. So, went there Friday, right? So she charges $50 an hour. She says she normally takes 2 to 3 hours to do, I'm looking for some chapstick, y'all. She normally takes 2 or 3 hours to do hair, right? Let me tell you about this. Sorry, I'm digressing. But that's just how my mind works. I've been using these for maybe 15, 20 years. I don't know if it's red dye in here or not. All I can tell you is Avon sells these things. And I only get one flavor. It's called, I can't see it with these glasses on. But it's a flavored lip balm. And it's a strawberry. I've been using this, not this one, but I've been using this product for about 15 years. If there's no Avon representative, I get them from Amazon. I don't get the other flavors. I only get strawberry. I don't get cherry. I don't get grape. They're all good, but I only get strawberry. And this really is really nice over like a matted lip that you might want to use, any kind of lipstick, just to give it a little gloss. But anyway, then if you put a matted lip on, why would you want a gloss? Sometimes matted, I'm just going off on a tangent. Let me get back on track. All right. She says, I love to learn how to do my own locks. I pay $300 to $400. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. $350 to $400 every 7 weeks. Listen, I don't know where you are, but if you came to Philadelphia, she could do you in 3 hours for $150. But anyway, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about this woman. And I'm always excited about everybody because I just love people. Okay, I'm back. I just love people. So anyway, she sees my hair. She's going through it. She's talking about these knots, right? She's talking about these knots. But never once did she say she couldn't do it. So what was happening, y'all, is I had knots, double knots in some places. Now, I know I put at least 2 double knots in myself trying to do it myself. But there were some other double knots in there. And y'all hear me clearly. I'm not faulting the loctician. I'm not faulting G because she comes highly recommended. There's a lot of people that use her. But the only thing I'm saying is that my periods between my 2 reties were not long enough to tie a successful knot in that lock. Okay? It just wasn't happening for me. And I couldn't wait 7 weeks. Like you, 305 Capricorn, 7 weeks? Look, my hair ain't going 7 weeks. So anyway, when I go to this loctician, she looks at me and she says, when's the last time you had a retie? So I said, September the 11th. I have it in my phone, right? She said, this looks like 7 weeks of new growth. 7 weeks, she said, after only 4 weeks. Now, if I had waited 6 weeks, then my hair would have looked like I had 10 weeks of new growth. And who knows how much hair I would have had. And I had some locks that were hanging on some very thin roots, right? Yep, that's what she said. 7 weeks of new growth. Now, I attribute that to a couple of things. I attribute that to the fact that when the last time I got my hair knotted, we didn't, the loctician didn't grab all of that hair around the lock because it wasn't long enough. I only probably had an inch of new growth. That's not enough hair to tie a knot. You need about 2, 3, 4 inches of new growth to begin tying these knots. That's what I've come to learn. So she's just looking at my hair. And so she starts, right? And I can feel, I could, she was struggling because of the knots going through, through the interlocking process. But she did it, to her credit. And guess how long it took? It took 6 hours. It took 6 hours because she had to repart all of my locks. So it was almost like doing it all over from scratch. She reparted every line because this girl, you know how these locticians are, these sister locticians. She's a sister loctician. She's a loctician, true and true. So she just wasn't going to go in there and just do my hair any old kind of way. She parted every part. She did it like it was from scratch. And I paid $50 an hour, which ended up to be about $300. And it was a costly lesson, switching from Sisterlocks to knotted locks. It was a costly lesson, but for me, it was worth it because I wanted to do knotted locks. I was going to do knotted locks. Nobody was going to stop me from doing knotted locks. I wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to understand the process. I wanted that in my hair. I thought this was, going to be something for me. And I respect everyone who is successfully having a knotted lock experience. But you got to know your hair. You got to know, and I'm going to tell you this. If you can wait 12 weeks between a retie, knotted locks are for you. Because then you're going to have enough new growth so that a knot can be successfully tied in the lock. If you can't wait 12 weeks, don't get knotted locks. Because then you have the kind of hair that may fall out after 10 weeks or 11 weeks or 9 weeks or 8 weeks. And I didn't want to take a chance losing my locks. Now, one of the reasons why everybody is saying you should get knotted locks is because of Sisterlocks. A lot of people with Sisterlocks hair is thinning up here, right? That's what they're saying. So I talked to my new loctician about it, right? I said, is this the case? She said, listen, none of my clients, whether their hair is coarse or whether it's not coarse, none of my clients have hair thinning at the top. So then I said, then it's got to be an operator problem. It's got what we're dealing with is an operator problem. She said the reason why you have Sisterlocks and the reason why Sisterlocks started in the first place was to combat hair thinning and baldness and all of that. If you have that, there's an operator problem. And this is what she said, to her credit. She said, listen, she mentioned some meal. She said, you can make this meal and I can make this meal. Now, if you make this meal with less experience than me, it may not come out the same way. And so basically what she was saying is a lot of these locticians out here don't have the experience to maintain your locks. And this is why a lot of people are going through what they're going through with their Sisterlocks, because they have. Now, I got started by a person who was very experienced and a person who was not very experienced, a trainee. And what happened was the person who was very experienced wanted to start the trainee into their own business. And so what they did was they turned me over to the trainee. And every once in a while they would show up to see what was happening in the hair. And inevitably, every time the professional showed up, there were some corrections that had to be done that the trainee had missed or was not able to do or did not recognize. So here's the thing. If you have a trainee doing your hair, who is checking the trainee to make sure the hair is being done like it's supposed to? Who's following up with the trainee? If you don't have anybody, you're lacking. We are lacking the expertise of a professional. And I always had a trainee. I never had, except from the very beginning, I never had anybody but a trainee. And so when I talked to my newest loctician about doing it myself, she said, "I'll train you." She said, "If you take the class, I'll train you." She said, "But you got to bring your own head because you can't mess up none of my customers." Well, respect, right? Respect. She said, "You can't mess up. I can't put you in my customer's hair." So I said, okay, I understand. That makes perfectly good sense to me. When I'm ready to take the class, I'm going to find me somebody who wants Sisterlocks, and I've lost a handful of locks because, yes. That's, you know what I'm talking about. Yes. So listen, this is why I ain't married to none of them. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not married to none of them. I like them all. I love them all, from the first one to the last one. But here's the thing. I'm always have me a backup. And when I see things ain't going right, I'm going to switch. Now, that last loctician who wanted to kick me to the curb because she said I had too many people in my hair, okay, that's your prerogative. You cannot be involved. You cannot whatever. I'm fine with that. But I can tell you one thing. You're not going to hold me hostage. Your mama ain't going to hold me hostage. Your sister, your auntie, ain't nobody going to hold me hostage. I'm always going to have a backup. And if I can afford to pay, somebody's going to do my hair. That's how I feel. That's it, y'all. That's it. I'm taking full responsibility. I take full responsibility for having knots in my locks for 4 months. That wasn't the best for me. I take full responsibility for that because that's what I wanted to do. And guess what? I did what I wanted to do. Now I don't want to do it no more because it ain't working for my hair. It's just as simple as that. It's not working for my hair. And before I just stick with something because somebody telling me this is the best thing I should do, I ain't doing it. Look, this loctician I got now, she got people coming from North Carolina to Philadelphia to get their hair done. Now, what she told me was, I got to keep my schedule. She said, I want you to keep your schedule. I want you to keep your schedule every 5 weeks. I plan on look, I'm not paying $300 again. I'm going to keep my schedule so that when this lady does my hair, she can be done in 2.5 to 3 hours. And she reparted, let me show y'all, every part, she redid it. I don't know if you can see it. She redid everything. She just redid. Look at that nice part. And listen, there was a time, right? I ain't care nothing about parts. I do now. Parts is important. I don't care what they say about, look, honey, look at that nice part. I don't care what they say about Sisterlocks. Now, you can see all the naysayers about Sisterlocks and parts and the Sisterlock professionals. I'm not talking about the trainees. I'm talking about the ones that know. You can't tell me nothing about them now because I can tell you. I'm a witness. Does she have to remove the knot? Nope, she don't. It's painful. I'm gonna be honest with you, but she don't do it. She doesn't do it so tight that, you know, when I'm done, I got my head hurt or anything like that. No, she's just working with the knots. Now, let me tell you about the knots. What I do know, they will eventually start growing into the lock. It'll happen, but it takes longer than 6 weeks. It takes about a year. And see, I'm figuring all this stuff out on my own. So these knots will go away. They will blend into the locks. And you can't even see them now. You can't see them with the natural eye. You can only see them if you're up close on top of them, or if you are, as in my case, getting a retie, right? And you can feel it. You can feel those knots going through. But the bottom line is, in terms of aesthetics, you can't see them. You can't see them. You don't even know they're there. So they will eventually start blending in. with the rest of my hair. Some knots are not an issue. Like some of the knots were fine. They were small. They were good. They passed through the interlocking process very nicely. Other locks were double knotted. They were double knotted. And that was difficult. Very difficult. Sorry, I'm having a little work done. I hope it's not too disturbing. But anyway, that's my story, right? It's been a very interesting journey. I don't regret one mistake. I don't regret one retie. I don't even regret one loctician, because all of these things have helped me to come to the place I am right now. That I started with Sisterlocks. I found me a loctician that's been doing Sisterlocks since 2006. She's still on the register. So that's nothing about these Sisterlock technicians, even the professionals. Some of them are no longer on the register. Now, if you can't afford to stay on the register, then I don't need to be going to you. I want to go to somebody, if I'm going to do this thing, who cares enough about Sisterlocks to pay the money to stay on the register. That's another thing. This lady, she's been on the register since 2006. And I'm going to tell you something. I was thoroughly impressed. I was thoroughly impressed. And when she told me, she didn't tell me how much it was going to cost to the end. But I couldn't bark because I understood what she had to do. I understood what she had to do. And then I started thinking about the other lady who decided she wasn't going to do my hair at the last minute. And I said, you know what? I can't even be mad at her because she didn't want to do this. She didn't want to take responsibility for this. And I have a lot of respect for the lady who decided, I'm going to go ahead and take on this challenge and I'm going to do it. And so that's my story. That's my story. So do I recommend knotted locks? No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't care what Tanisha Ali says. I don't care what Melissa Blake says. This is what I say to you. Somebody who's done it for 4 months, somebody with fine hair, cottony hair, soft hair, somebody who can't go 5, maybe I could go a maximum of 6 weeks without a retie. Somebody like that? No, absolutely not. No. In my mind, my understanding, my opinion, I'm not a Sisterlock professional. I'm not a knotted lock professional. I'm just Charmaine. If you can't go 10 to 12 weeks without a retie and be okay and not have your locks falling out, you can't get knotted locks because you must have enough hair to tie in a knot. It's no different than tying a string. You must have enough hair to tie in a knot. Stay away from them. And stay away from that crocheting needle too. That thing ain't healthy. You shouldn't be talking. If you got Sisterlocks, you should be with a Sisterlock technician, a professional. And guess what? The professionals ain't gonna try to rob you. They're gonna treat you right. They're gonna do your hair 2.5, 3 hours. And listen, you're gonna be all right. But it's these trainees that's trying to get money. Tanisha Ali says she will be teaching knotted lock soon. I'm hoping people with thin hair please do not listen. I don't know if this thing is recorded after I leave, after we end this. Please, if you got thin hair, it is not for you. Here is the test. Ask yourself, can I go 10 weeks without a retie? I'm gonna back it all the way up to 10 weeks. Can I go 10 weeks without a retie and my hair still feels like it's intact? If I go 6 weeks without a retie, my hair, at least it was, hanging on strings. But I didn't know all of the ins and outs of this. I didn't know that this was important. It was important to have this long period of time to tie a knot. I had to figure it out. Over 4 months, I figured it out. And no, you can't do it. You cannot do it. Please. You can tell, they can call me, send me an email, send me a text. I can tell you all my experiences. You can't do it. I don't care how wonderful the loctician is, how nice they are, how sweet they are. I don't care who they are. You cannot do it. If you want to keep this Sisterlock hairstyle, you're gonna have to work with a trained Sisterlock technician. And let me tell you something. I was poo-pooing the Sisterlock people too, because they so she, with their community and everything like that. They make you want to like smack them. But let me tell you something. The ones that know what they're doing know what they're doing. Now, I like Toy. I like her. She investigated the knotted lock thing. I think she could have done more with it. in terms of videos, but people were really hard on her. But I had to find out for myself that she was right. This is not for everybody. Is it for some people? Do you have to remember? Okay. Is it for some people? Yes, I believe it is for some people. I believe it's for people with coarse hair. That's what I believe. Tanisha Ali got coarse hair. Now, I don't know about Melissa Blake. I'm not sure about her hair, but she must have coarse hair if she's able to sustain this. I don't have coarse hair. Even though I'm brown, and you would think I should have coarse hair, I don't. I don't have coarse hair. My hair is very, very, very cottony, very soft, right? And here's another thing, y'all. My hair don't like water. My hair does not like water. It don't like water. Let me tell you something. Following these people and not having a loctician that I could trust to follow their words, I made a lot of mistakes, but I'm glad I made them because I'm here today to say what I'm saying now. Could this change in 6 months? Of course it could. This is where I'm at today. My hair don't like water. All this spraying and stuff people doing in the morning, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't get up in the morning and spray my locks. I don't do that. I don't put nothing on my locks. I don't put nothing on my locks. I don't put no oil on my locks. I don't put no water on my locks. Nothing goes on my locks. Every time I put something on my locks, the hair is hard. It's brittly. It feels strange. It don't feel like hair. It's scary. Okay? For me, it's terrifying. I don't like it. This hair costs too much money to be feeling like that. No, you don't want it just to look good. You want to have a good feeling, right? So, and here's another thing. This is how I keep my fullness. One of the ways I keep my fullness is not putting nothing on my locks. The other way, this is how I sleep. My bonnet has all my hair in it like this. All of it. All in the bag. Everything I can fit in there, right? And then it's all like formed. And then when I get up in the morning, I shake it out. And let me tell y'all something. I have full hair all day long. I ain't never got to worry about flat hair. I don't have to worry about flat hair. And so I love it. I love it. Unfortunately, we can't see Melissa's hair. 90% of her locks are wrapped. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. All I'm saying is this. If you started with Sisterlocks and you got a good loctician, stay with Sisterlocks. But not just that, get a backup. You need a backup. Your loctician might get sick. They might have COVID. They might die. Anything could happen. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Don't do it. I'm having work done, I told y'all, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you have options. Not like I told y'all, I made the choice to go to Knotted Locks. I made the choice to leave the young lady I was working with, and I'm glad I left her because I don't think I would be in good. She was a trainee. She didn't have the experience. Even though she had worked with a loctician for 100 years, she didn't have the experience that this lady and other people I talked to have. She don't have it. She just don't have it. And that's no slight on her. She just got to, hang around. She got to be around. She got to live a little and have more experiences with hair. But this is my experience. I'm not leaving the Sisterlock community again. I don't think. Not less, I don't know, they come up with something really spectacular. But I did the 4 months, 4 reties of knotted locks. I wanted to do it. It don't work for me. And I'm gonna tell you what I told y'all in the beginning. I don't put nothing on my hair now except Camille Rose, the Grow Grease. It's fantastic. Y'all, listen, y'all gotta let me know. Y'all try it once. Just try it once. Wash your hair, condition your hair, whichever way you do it, and then grease your scalp. Old fashioned, just grease your scalp. And all I do is it's in a tin can. I do like this, right? With the pads of my finger. I do like this. Then I do like this. And then I part it, right? I part it, and then I take the pads of my finger like this, and I do just like this. And that's it. And I don't have itching anymore. And how do I know I need to get it done when my hair starts itching? when I need to put, when I need to put some oil in. When my hair starts itching, it's just as simple as that. And here's another thing. My loctician told me that if she misses a lock or two, just come back. Now, like there are two locks over here. Either they grew super quick or she missed it. So just go back. No big deal. No, she's in my neighborhood. No big deal. So I don't know if you guys can still hear me. So this is my experience, y'all. I love it. I ain't going back. I'm sticking with Sisterlocks. And I think this grease is really helping my hair grow. And the fact that I'm not taking this as my medicine anymore. But y'all let me know how y'all, if you want to try the Camille Rose, listen, it's up to you. I can only tell you my experience. But if you're having trouble with an itchy scalp, I don't care if you got locks or not, whatever you have. If you got itchy scalp, Camille Rose, old-fashioned hair grease, the grow grease. I don't like all her products because she has this one with rose water. I'm not a big fan of that because that don't do good in my hair. I wash my hair every 2 weeks. Seems to work for me. And I don't put all that water and grease and gunk in my hair. I don't do it. I just don't do it. And I'm happy that when I left that girl's house on October the 11th, my last retire, I was ecstatic. I was hurting because I paid $300 and I would have paid $150 if I had not had all these knots in my hair. And if my parts, and this is one thing she said, which I thought was really powerful. She said, I'm doing your hair so that when I do your hair, I recognize what's going on with your hair. I'm making sure your parts are right. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't know what the other person did, but I'm doing it so that when you are working with me, I recognize this is me. So she's not only doing my hair, but she's putting a signature on it. She's putting a signature on it. For all of you who have lost locks, mess around with these trainees, I say, get back on the register. Find some people that have some experience, who really know what they're doing, who really care. And for those of us who are trying to understand this whole thing, let's take the class. Let's take the class. Oh, thank you, sister. Thank you. Because guess what? On October 9th or 10th, the day before I got my hair done, it was raggedy. I was raggedy, girl. But so I like this lady. She's very black and white. She ain't got no fluff in her, and she ain't got too much jokes with her either. But when it come to this hair, she was steadfast. And listen, she said $50 an hour. And listen, she didn't mess around neither. She didn't mess around. Wasn't a whole lot of talking, and whatever talking she was doing to me, she was still working. And she's been doing this since 2006. So we're talking about 18 years. She's been locking hair. And her hair, here's another thing. Her hair was gorgeous. It was just gorgeous. Gorgeous. And so I like working with her. My intention is to keep working with her, but I got to have a backup because when I think about being left high and dry, my breath, it actually takes my breath away. I mean, I guess it's anxiety or a panic attack or something like that. I can't be like that. I don't want you to get mad at me one day, because I'm very vocal. So I don't want you to get mad at me. Oh, don't come back here no more. Oh, no? Well, where am I going? Okay. I'm not coming back here anymore. I understand. Guess what? I got somebody else I can go to. And then the beautiful thing about learning how to do it myself, I can do somebody's hair and they can do mine after a while. So listen, thank you, 305 Capricorn. Look, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and share and what's the other thing? Like. And I'm just gonna keep you posted. And this is not going to be my last video about this because now I'm warning people. I was encouraging people to get knots in their locks, but now I'm warning people. And I'm warning people in my hair category, right? It's my hair category. Now, here's another thing about spraying your locks. If I had sprayed my locks this morning, it'd be flat. It'd be like this. Everything will be flat. Now my hair, it's whatever natural curl pattern is in my hair. I didn't roll it up or anything. It's just natural. It is how my hair looks naturally. You know, the natural wave or the whatever formation of the lock. It's just natural. And so this is the slowest growing part of my hair. It is starting to come in. But my hair always grows in layers. That's my hair. It's always been like that my whole life. And so it's growing in layers now. You can see back here. Look at this. Look how long it is back there. So, you know, it's going to be a while before all the hair even, I mean, it'll never all be the same length. But that's okay. That's my hair. So this has been an exciting journey in my hair, what works for my hair, what doesn't work for my hair. Please let me know if you get the Camille Rose. Let me know. Let me know, please. I know you're going to, I just feel you're going to love it because I love it. And now I don't have to worry about, like I was buying all these oils. I was trying all kinds of oils. I was going oil crazy. Not no more. All I use is Camille Rose. I wash my hair with Trader Joe's tea tree shampoo and conditioner for $3.99. I think one costs $3.99, one costs $4.99. The whole thing costs about $10. And the Camille Rose's hair grease is about $10. It's expensive, but it's worth it. That's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Listen, guys, it was nice talking to you. Well, I think I got a little bit more time. Any questions or any comments? And listen, please, I'm telling y'all, if you do the Camille Rose, let me know. Let me know. And listen, I want you to know, I'm not knocking knots in your locks. But I'm saying if you can't, this is your litmus test. If you can't go 10 to 12 weeks without a retie, you can't get knots. You can't do it. There's no magical solution for you. You cannot do it because you won't have any locks left. And if you only have one loctician and you don't have a backup, you got to get a backup. And if people are using crochet needles in your hair, that's not going to work. You need somebody who's using a Sisterlock tool. That's it. And the reason why I say the Sisterlock tool, because there's another tool out there that looks like the Sisterlock tool. That's not white, that's brown or whatever. It looks just like the Sisterlock tool. But unless you've had the Sisterlock training, and unless you have the Sisterlock hair care routine, and unless you've been working with Sisterlock technicians, and unless you're training under a Sisterlock technician, no. Or what's the name of the grease? It's called Camille Rose, the Grow Hair Grease. Camille Rose, that's the brand name. The Grow Hair Grease. And I was carrying it around the house with me. Let me see if I have any here. No, I don't have any here. But it's in a metal container, like that, circle, in a metal container. And it's so light. It is so incredibly light. And it's one of the best products out there. If there's anything out there like that, I don't know. I haven't experienced it. I've tried everything. Let me tell you something. I don't know about y'all, but I tried that castor oil on my scalp. You know what it did? It gave me a headache. I would go to bed at night and I'd be like, what is happening here? And it took me like 3 or 4, no, that's not true. It took me about 10 times of using castor oil to recognize, okay, this stuff is giving me a headache. I'm not using this anymore. So I don't use castor oil. It was castor oil with coconut. It was Jamaican black castor oil. I use olive oil. I use grapeseed oil. I use coconut oil. I use all these oils. Everybody got all of these magic remedies. My hair has never been more moisturized than it is right now because I'm using this Camille Rose's, the Grow Grease, the old-fashioned hair grease. That's what it says on the something like that, old-fashioned, you know. And all I do is I part the scalp, you know, go along the, boom, put the grease on the pads of my pads of my fingers, do it like this, rub it in the can. I rub it in the can, do it like this, boom, 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 boom. front and back. Then after I do front and back, just make sure I get everything, I go down a couple of sides. Right here, right here. And that's it. And yeah, I love it. And did I get, is it shriveling a little bit? You know, everybody's talking about shriveling. You know, after you get your hair done, it's nice and long. And then it shrivels up. I don't care about that. I don't care about shriveling. Shriveling don't mean nothing to me. Honestly, I tried a few knots before. My locks hated it. I wish the best for everyone else. That's what I'm saying, y'all. See, that is what I'm saying. I'm saying that that knotted locks may work for some people, but not for me. I don't, and I keep going back to the same thing. Unless you can withstand a retie, a 10 to 12 week long period between your reties, you cannot get knots in your locks because you ain't got enough new growth to tie a knot in there. And what's going to happen, which is what happened to me, you're going to have some double knots. Can I show you a double knot? I don't know. If I had a white background, maybe I could. But if you look very closely, you'll see a little bump right here. Here it is, right here. I'm pointing it out to you. I'm going to get as close as that's a double knot. Fortunately, the lady who did my hair this time did not kick me to the curb, did not say, I'm not doing your hair because you got all these knots in your hair. She said, you know what? I see an opportunity to make some money. I'm going to go ahead and do this girl here. She reparted it. And she made sure that my hair, I left out of there and it was beautiful. She didn't put any grease on it. She didn't do any of that. All she did, she washed it for me because I didn't come with it washed. So she washed it and she commenced to interlocking it with the Sisterlock tool. So listen, I wasn't a Sisterlock promoter before because I thought, the community was too exclusive and I didn't have a lot of good experiences with the ones that I had met. But since I've had my hair done by 1, 2, well, I should say 1.5 because the second time was 2 people. They knew each other. They worked together. So let's say 1.5 Sisterlock technicians, and then the knotted lock technician. I am now have become a spokesperson for Sisterlocks. I'm now the new spokesperson for Sisterlocks. Yes. And all these people talking about they going bald, it's got to be more than what they're saying. It's got to be more than what they're saying. That's my thinking. That's my thinking. It's got to be more than what people are saying. And so what I want to encourage us to do who are just like kind of letting people do our hair, let's take the course. Let's take the course. Get in the Sisterlock community to the extent that you've taken the course, you're training under a Sisterlock technician, and you know how to do it. You know how to do it. Because I try to do one of my own, this one right here, and I combined it because I pulled one lock into another lock. That's the problem. There's a problem with that. I couldn't get it out. But fortunately, it was one that needed to be combined because it was super thin. So it worked out. It worked out. Here's another thing too. I got to be real careful with these glasses because where I wear glasses, the locks seem to be thinning out a little bit along that last line. So I got to be careful with that. I actually had some nose pincers that, wear like that. So it's another situation. Just different things that I'm noticing, that I'm sharing, and I'm just trying to be honest and be real about my experience. I love this Sisterlock hairstyle. I love it. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love it curled. I love it straight. I love it full. I love it flat. I'd rather have it full though, but I love it full. I love it flat. I love it. And I'm having a good time. And I'm having a good time because I've taken authority over my hair. And I follow my heart. My heart said, hey, why don't you try the knots in your locks? I did it. It didn't work. My heart said, you better leave this loctician. Find you somebody else. And I did. And it's a journey. It didn't happen overnight. Took me 5 months to find this lady I have now. And I plan to stick with her. But who knows? The future is very up in the air. You know what I mean? It could be anything could happen. I could move to another country. I could move to another state. Then I have to find me a loctician again. So, just keep it moving, keep it fluid. Don't get locked into anybody. Respect, love them all. But just recognize at the end of the day, this is your hair. This is your hair. This is your money. This is your journey. You have choices. And sometimes I think the Sister Lock community does not let you know you have choices. They don't share with you have choices. And, I was thinking about trying to pick some of these knots out, but the loctician said no. She said, leave it. She said, it's done, is done. What's done is done. Don't worry about it. We'll work through it. And so that's what I'm doing. So listen, guys, thank you for sticking with me for this lengthy bit of time. Appreciate you. But I'm going to sign out now. And I'll save the video. And, let's catch up again maybe next free time, or if not sooner. But for all of you who have lost locks and, are experiencing everything that I've gone through, and I know it's a lot of us out here, and I think the Sister Lock community could take better care of us. That's a whole nother conversation. I just think their branding could be better. Their customer care could be better. There's a lot of people who are bearing the Sister Lock name, the Sister Lock technician name, some brand ambassadors. There's a lot of people out there, and sometimes I don't feel or hear the care. I don't feel or hear the concern for us who are out here kind of just on our own, like we don't know, we just paying for this stuff. We don't really have the experience to know what's what. And I just don't feel like sometimes we get that care, that tender loving care that we need in the Sister Lock community. So, but with that being said, I'm staying in the community. I'm not going outside the community again. I'm not going outside the community again, and I'm not working with no more trainees. Now, for the Sister Lock professionals who are overcharging people because they see this as an opportunity, because it's such an exclusive community, I just want you to rethink this, because I am a witness that if you are more interested in the message than the money will come. The money will come. You don't have to charge people $300 and $400 for a retire, for 2 and 3 hours worth of work. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be abusive. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. You can respect your clients. You can respect Joanne Cornwall and everything she was trying to do, and you can make a living off of this. You can do it. I mean, you figure if you're charging, let's just say $200 a retire, you're doing 3 retires a day, and you're doing retires 5 days a week, if that's your choice. We're talking about $600 a day times 5. 5 times 6 is $3,000. That means you got an opportunity to make $3,000 of untaxed dollars, because ain't nobody paying no taxes. Let's be for real. So my message to the Sister Lock ambassadors, technicians, the real ones, the good ones, the ones who care, remember that we are a part of this community too. Please treat us with a little more tender, loving care, a little bit more respect. And if you know you have trained a trainee, check in with that trainee and see how they're doing. Look at some of that trainee's heads and see if they're following the process. Don't leave these trainees out there on their own. That's like an extreme. Here's an extreme example. That's like a doctor who is training as an intern and there's no head doctor. No, you don't want that. You want to stay with these trainees if you're training them. Don't just leave them on their own. Now you can't be accountable for their work. No, you cannot. They have to be accountable for their work. But as their mentor, just don't leave them out there on their own, because they don't know what they're doing. And how could they? They don't have the experience. That's what separates the professionals from the people who want to be, the experience. So So I told you 3 important things today. If you can't wait 10 to 12 weeks for a retire, you can't get Sisterlocks. I don't care what nobody tell you. Call me. I'll explain the whole process to you. Number 2, you need a backup. You need a backup loctician who is not a trainee. You need to have somebody in your hair that's not a trainee. And number 3, you people who are training, even at the headquarters level of the Sisterlock community, check in with your trainees. There should be more accountability. It should be more. They should be having a report more or something. There should be some videos sent in, something, so that you keep this brand the way it's supposed to be. So listen, guys, I'm gonna go now. But this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for being with me. I just kind of got on randomly. I didn't even know you guys would be there, but I wish you well with your hair. I pray you well with your hair. And I pray that if there's anything that needs to change or anything that needs to be modified or any other way that your hair can be enhanced, that God in his infinite mercy through the power of the name of Jesus would reveal that to you. And yes, I pray about everything. I pray about whether I get a cat, to get the mice. I pray that ain't nothing, everything. I don't care what it is. There's no small prayer, whatever it is. So that's my prayer for you today, my sisters and brothers in this lock community. And I guess I see you when I see you. So bye. I don't know if you guys are still there or not, but bye. And thank you for just being with me for this past hour. Okay, so I'm going to stop now if I can figure out how. Let's see. Let me see what am I supposed to do here. Maybe I'm supposed to just share it. Let me see if I share it, what happens. Oops. How do you, let me see. Let me copy the link. I don't know how to get out of here. After, let me see, I'll X out. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes.